Hi, my name is Vipul Gupta. I'm a distinguished engineer at Sun Labs and a member of the Sunspot team. So these are Sunspots. These are tiny battery-powered wireless computers. They are very easy to use because you program them in Java. And they can be attached with different kinds of sensors and actuators depending on the application you have. So one application where these are proving to be extremely popular is ecological monitoring, where people collect information like temperature, light, humidity, and they want to get this all to a central place. So what I'll show you are some demos around things that we have built to make it very easy for people to use these devices for this application. So the first application I'll show you is called SPOTWeb. And the idea is once you take these devices out of the box, you run a built-in application called SPOTWeb, and you point your browser to a URL that the application presents. And once you log in, you are able to then control your sunspots through a web-based interface. So the first thing that shows up is this Google Map mashup showing your sunspots on this map. And this is the sunspot I'm holding in my hand. So I click on the Health tab, and when I click refresh, I'll start getting live sensor readings from this device. So you can see currently the light reading is 375, and the acceleration reading tells me that I'm holding the spot vertical because the Y reading is negative. Now what I'll do is I'll change the orientation and cover up the light sensor. So once I do a refresh now, you should notice that the light reading changes to something lower, and also the acceleration readings change. So the light reading's gone down from above 200 to under 60, and the acceleration reading tells me that the x-axis acceleration is close to 1, which matches the orientation of this sunspot. Other things I can do is I can look at the various properties on this spot. So here I'm looking at the name that's set on the spot, its location, and other kinds of things. What's really interesting is that I can deploy new applications on this spot and control them. So right now, when I look at the application tab, it shows me it's running one application called Spot Bounce, and that's the bouncing ball demo you see here. What I'll do next is upload a new application. So I go here. And now I'm uploading a new application. And you can see that it's using Ajax, so it gives you a live update of the update as it happens. Now once I go back to the Applications tab and click here to look at the current status, I now see a new application called LED Sample Code. So what I'll do is I'll launch it all using a web-based interface. So notice that I've kind of moved the ball over to one side, and I'll launch the LED sample application. And what this will do is it will create an LED that goes around and changes its brightness. So I'm launching it now. And at this point, the new application is alive. And there you see it moving the LED. I can pause this application, again using a web-based interface. So any remote user can do this. And all they need is a browser. They don't need any special software installed on their system. So I pause this application, and I can resume it again. So here I resume it, and you will see the LED glowing again and then moving around. So that was SPOTWeb, and the idea is this lets users easily experiment with the sensors on the sunspot and experiment with data collection on the spot and some sort of visualization. And when they're ready to collect more information and are looking for a centralized repository for all that information, we provide them with something called Sensor.Network. So this is a web-based service where the idea is we go beyond sunspots and collect information from all kinds of sensors. So maybe phones, maybe other kinds of sensor devices. And what I'm about to show you is a mock-up. The idea is once the user logs in, based on the authentication credentials they provide, they are presented with a list of sites that they have registered and for which they are authorized to look at information. So here right now we have the site that I'm showing you is called SpotNet. So we have several sunspots that are located around the Sun Labs building. This is MPK 16 in Menlo Park, and these are the locations of the various sunspots. And on each of these sunspots, you can get some basic information. You can look at plots also. So here's a plot for the recent light readings on this spot. You can go to another spot and look at other things like maybe battery information. So this one, if you look at the battery level, you can see it's plugged into the wall, so it's pretty close to the maximum. We also have a dashboard view. So this one lets you do a deep dive, but if you wanted to just look at an overview of the entire site, this presents a dashboard view. And you can look at all the spots that are in the site. You can look at how long they've been up, when was the last time you got information from them, battery, the activity level, and the available memory, and all kinds of things. So this is again something that is being developed currently. It is not yet complete. So with that, I'll turn it over to Purna Adupi, who is my colleague and a researcher at Sun Labs, and he'll talk more about the back end of Sensor.Network and some of the customers we are working with.